Hello everybody, this is Sensei Robert. I'm going to be showing you basic form number 1 with Nunchuck today. As a reminder, our basic forms are typically done with the open hand, and then we translate what we did in open hand into whichever weapon we happen to be using. So today I'm going to start by just showing you a refresher of what basic form number 1 looks like open hand, and then we'll walk through some of the translations that we're going to do during the form with the Nunchuck. So let me show you basic form number 1 open hand first. Basic form number 1, open hand. Going to step back right foot, right low block. Step forward, left punch. Then we're going to repeat that pattern but on the other side. Step forward, left low block. Step forward, right punch. We key on when we get to the end. We look over our shoulder. We're going to switch direction. We're going to fold for a left low block as our foot slides all the way through. We're going to follow that with 3 single punches with each step. On the third one, we key on. We look over our shoulder again. We fold on the left hand over for another low block. We do a double foot, step back block, and we come back to attention and ready position. So that's basic form number 1, open hand. When we start using the Nunchuck, we're going to have to translate some of those moves. So for our block, we're going to use a 2-hand block. So whenever we do a low block, it's going to be a block that's like this. It's in the center, it's blocking anything that's coming up. The ends are pointed out to the side in case somebody comes outside of center. It gives us the most area of coverage. Then when we do a strike, we're going to put the Nunchuck over our head, and a left strike is done with the left hand, or a right strike is done with the right hand. Those are the basic translations that we're going to use. So instead of this, we're going to do this. Instead of this, we're going to be doing this and circle back up. All right, so let's walk through it and go through the translation. When we get done, I'll show you some alternative translations that are kind of fun to play with also. Basic form number 1 with Nunchuck. We're going to step back and do the low block. We're going to put this over our head. This is a left strike, so we strike with the left hand. We're going to step forward and do another low block. Then we're going to step forward and do a right strike with a kia. Kia! We're going to look over our left shoulder. We're going to let the left foot slide all the way through as we do a low block. Then on the way back, we do 3 punches, 1 right, 1 left, 1 right. Here's the right punch. Here's the left punch. And here's the right punch. Kia! We look over our shoulder, feet step together, we turn around, execute the low block, come back to attention, and back to ready position. So that's what it looks like with the commentary. I'll go through that once, and then I'll show you some little tricks and games you can add to it if you get interested. All right, basic form number 1 with Nunchuck. So, all right, the strikes we did from up here, there's actually a shortcut version of those strikes, which occurs much lower. Less motion, less time, less likely that somebody's going to be able to get in the way of it. So I'm going to introduce that to you, at least on the first side when you can see it here, so it's something else that you can play with. So again, block just like normal, but instead of bringing this all the way over the head, we bring it to here. This is going to be a left strike, so we're going to bring it through and circle up. Only difference is instead of bringing it up here and striking, as we bring it up from low block, we're going to bring it right here. We're going to lead the right side back a little bit just to make the strike work easier, and then we're ready to go through for the next block. This would be the right strike. So instead of going all the way overhead, we're going to bring it here, lead the left side in a little bit so you can strike right from shoulder level, and you're done with that. That would have a kia as well. So that's one of the ways you can change up a little bit what you're practicing. Either one is acceptable. The first one is much easier to do. but sometimes it gets confusing when it's over your head which one you're going to pick, left or right. So you, at the beginning, you want to make sure you're telling yourself right or left before you get up here. It's very hard to remember once you're up. All right, as far as a couple of the other translations, as I played with this more, I began to realize that you can do nunchuck form without ever letting it out of your right hand, as long as you use this like a weapon in the blocks and the punches it affects. So right low block would become this, with this on the outside of your arm, blocking anything that was coming in this direction. The left punch would have nothing in it. The left low block would be just what we've done before, but the right strike would be the ends of the nunchuck as part of the strike. So that's a way to do a one-hand version, always in the right hand. You can also do it always in the left hand. There's also a two-hand version, where the nunchuck, once you start, stays in both hands all the time. So in this one, you would do the same block we did earlier, but the strike would become both hand, a double hand strike. The block would be the same, and double hand strike. As you can see, it's not a particularly interesting variation, other than the fact that it's a different translation than the one we did originally. And then just for comparison, the one that we did is where we allow the nunchuck to switch back and forth between hands as it needs to. So we step back for our low block, we bring the nunchuck up and do the strike, and it switches to our left side. When we come back and we do the block, it's two hands, and when we do the right hand strike, it switches back to our right side. So that is a couple of the things that you can do with nunchuck, basic form number 1 with nunchuck, that'll kind of give you a little bit of an idea of how we do translations for weapons. Thank you.